12? Class? That one you should be able to answer quickly. What is 14 plus 28?
42.
42?
Yeah.
Have you done number 3? Do the math. I see some of you just kind of hanging tight, waiting on other people. Warm your brains up. Warm your math brains up. We are going to be finding the sum of two integers, 2 or more integers. You will find the sum of 2 or more integers. So what kind of numbers are you going to be working with? Somebody tell me, what if we're talking about the sum of 2 or more integers, what kind of numbers are you going to be working with, Ashton? Whole numbers.
Opposites.
They're opposites, and 0. Okay. So are we going to be dealing with fractions and decimals?
No.
No. Whole numbers, they're opposites and zeros. What is 26 plus 32 plus 19? Ben?
77.
Is he correct, ladies and gents?
Yes.
Good. What is 47 plus 35 plus 68? What is that, Chloe? Chloe says 150. Is she correct?
Yes.
Okay, we've got our brains woke up, right? Okay, then let's move on. Yesterday, we started playing with counters. Is the sum of two integers positive, negative, or 0? Could be any of those, couldn't it? But how are you going to know if they're positive, negative, or 0? Okay, that's what we've got to be able to answer. Do you have an idea? How would you know?
A number like 14, like negative 14 plus like negative 14 or just 14 would equal 0.
The number, she says the number negative 14 plus like 14, you said. That was one thing you said, right? And you knew that's going to be equal to 0. Why? Why? What do we call that when we've got a number and its opposite? What do we call those when we try to combine them? They are integers, you're right, but when we're combining them and we know they're going to be 0, why? They cancel each other out. We call that a 0 pair. Now, on the others though, how do you know if the sum of the integers is going to be positive or if it's going to be negative? Is there a way that you would just automatically know? What do you think, Mr. Chance?
Yesterday, and there was a positive number in front and a negative, so it had to be negative.
Not always. Not always. What do you think?
If the negative number is larger than the positive number, then it's always going to be a negative number. If it's reversed, it's always going to be positive.
You are correct, but how is a negative, when I think about that, a negative number is always less than 0, right? So how could it be larger than a positive number? You are on the right track.
Look at the number, and if you take away the minus, it's larger.
Okay, if you take away the minus, if the one is larger, you keep that sign. I agree.
You find the absolute value.
That's the word. It's the absolute value. If the absolute value of an integer is larger than the other one, you know that's the sign you're going to keep, right? What if the signs are the same? Then you know you keep the sign, right? And just add them together, right? Different ways of knowing that. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Yesterday we started using the counters. Use integer counters to find out is -4 plus -3, what is -4 plus -3? Well, if I've got -4, so I have 4 negatives, and I add 3 more negatives, how many negatives do I have?
7.
I have 7 negatives. That's basically what I'm doing, right? That's easy, I like that. Same sign, add, and keep the sign. Okay? We good so far? We did this yesterday, so this is kind of a review. Okay, now then, if we're combining 3 negative counters and 2 positives, they combined them in this picture. What is the number of counters left? How many counters and what type of counters do I put in the last box? Ben, what am I going to do? Ben says put a -1 counter. Why? Why, Ben? And I totally agree with you.
Well, as you said, if the negative number is like larger than that one, it's always going to be a negative. In that case, it shows that there's 3 negatives and 2 positives. If a negative and a positive would just basically get rid of that, and another negative would get rid of that.
This one and this one are what? What do we call those pairs? I've got a positive one and I've got a negative one. And what did we say we'll call those pairs every time? Justin.
0.
0 pair. That is awesome, Justin. So basically I have a -1 plus 0 plus 0, don't I?
Yeah.
So that my answer then is -1. Okay? And if I look at what Miss Emily and Miss Esri were talking about, the absolute value of a -3 is greater than 2. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So I keep the negative sign and I subtract the difference. Okay? I like that. I keep negative sign and subtract the difference. Oops, not die. That's what I'm going to be doing. But for now, I'm going to play with counters if I want to. Because I like playing with them. See it, say it, do it. Okay? No, she's trying to copy, so. You got it already?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Sorry, I was like.
All right. Now, we're going to switch it up. We're going to use a number line. You know what? I've also got number lines over here. I think I still got enough. Have a number line.
It's either.
Have a number line. Number line. Number lines. Okay, now I got a number line. Okay? So if I look at my number line, and I look at, say, this problem, it says, so 5 plus -3. So I'm going to go, my number lines, these number lines that I just handed you go up and down, right? So I go to 5 on the number line, and then it says plus -3. Remember yesterday when I had some people get up on our number line? So if I'm going to go plus -3, which direction do I go on the number line? If it's up and down, I'm gonna go which direction, Jorlyn? Okay, so go down 3. 1, 2, 3, and where did you end up?
Two.
On 2. So this has to be 2. If I turn it sideways like this, it looks like this one, doesn't it? So I go out to, I gotta turn it like this. I go out to 5, and I back up 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm on 2. Do you see how they use the picture? They're showing they came out 5, and I stopped. And then they're showing I'm going from there, going backwards to 3. So in that case, my final answer is right there, because that's what I landed on. A number line can do the same thing as your counters. Okay? The number lines are located over there in the drawers. These are for easy problems. Okay? And we know we're not going to keep number lines that are this easy, are we? But if I really needed them, I could use it. Okay? Does this to 5, does this make sense? Show me where at this point it makes sense to you. Okay. Okay? Let's see. Write an addition expression. Now you're going to write the statement. If you understand the number line, you can write the statement. Write the statement on your paper. Write an addition expression, then solve it. So what's the expression? And if you're not sure what I mean by an expression, look at the one above it. Is there an addition statement there? Good. Gotta write your statement, kiddo. Oh, you're on the wrong, over here. Good.
Where's that? You gotta write your statement down there. So, like this, and then number sign.
Which one did we do first? The bottom one is always the first one.
So you do
Okay.
7, and you can add another 7, so what would that look like?
Is this an
7
addition statement?
plus
Should be.
number sign
See up here?
equals. Write that
Okay.
addition statement.
There you go.
Where's the
Okay.
statement down?
No, that's fine.
That's the addition statement.
I'm not sure that's what they are doing too.
Start here at 0. So
Okay?
yes, this is right.
Okay, where does this one start at? Everybody should be able to answer this because I've walked around and so has Mrs. Heston. You can answer it and know that it's safe to answer because we've already looked at it. So we already know whether you, and we've already redirected you, right? So, where does this one start at? Chloe? It starts at 7, and it's an addition statement, so I'm going to do a plus. What does it do next? Plus what? Talon, plus what?
-7.
That's not something I want to see you doing. Do you notice how they're all pretty much flat? Was it already flat? It was, wasn't it? When I handed it to you? Would you please leave it that way?
Yeah.
I've had these for about 7 years, and they've stayed flat, okay? And he says -7, and I agree with that.
Start with the bottom one.
And so 7 plus
Start with
-7,
plus
where does it end up?
Just write it.
On the graph, where does it end? Where's it ending, Addie? It ends at 0, right here. Booyah. So that means 7 plus -7 equals 0. 7 plus -7 is what kind of a pair? What kind of pairs are they? 0 pairs. Good. Okay? Any questions? Guess what? Guess what? You are going to use what you have learned, and you're going to go into your math journal, And I'm not sure that those numbers are right. I'm gonna pull it up. Math journal page, it says 8 and 9, so let me look. Oh, I know what it is. I think they are right. Yeah. I want you to do page 8 and page 9. No, wait a minute. I want you to do page 8. I'm going to change this. And 10. Page 8. So change on your notes.
We're doing the textbook page, right?
I want you to go to the math journal, and I want page 8 and page 10, and we're going to start 8 together. Look at page 8 first. Look at page 8 first. Okay? Because this is what it means to do page 8. Okay? You're going to look at the problem they give you. Look at number 5. They're giving me a -4 and a -3. And it wants to know, what type of a sum is it going to be? Well, I know it's the same sign, right? Same sign. The sum ends up being a -7. And the sum is positive, negative, or 0. So I just write negative. That's it. Okay? Kaylee.
So, like, if you have two different signs, would you write the different signs for type of sign?
Number 6 is a different sign. Do you agree? So my signs are different. So you're going to write different signs. Then you have to figure out what the sum is. And then you have to say whether it's positive, negative, or 0. Number 3, or number 7. We're doing the first 4 together. Number 7 says 5 plus -3. What do you notice about the signs? What do you notice about the signs? Monique? On number 7, what kind of signs do we have? So we write different signs. Okay, you write different signs. What is the sum of -3 and 5, or 5 and -3? What is the sum? What's its sum going to be, Chance? 2. Okay, so you write the 2 here, and you tell whether it was positive, negative, or 0. Okay. Look at number 8. What kind of signs do I have? Ben?
Same sign,
Different signs. What's the sum going to be? What's the sum going to be with those 2 different signs? Cole, what do you think? I have 7 and -7. So the sum is 0. And over here under positive, negative, 0, you're going to write the word 0. I love that. 0 pair is the best because that's getting that into your head. I have no problem with that, Chance. Okay? So you have to finish page 8 and then go over to page 10. Okay? Finish page 8 and then go over to page 10. And you have 30 minutes to work. In those 30 minutes, more than likely, you will be able to get it done.